All right, going to be taking a look at stock ticker symbol USMJ. This stock has been requested so many times today and over the weekend. Shout out to all you guys that keep liking and subscribing for this video. I really do appreciate that. Me and Joe definitely put a lot of effort into these videos, and just you guys simply liking it really makes our day. Really does. 0010, we're going to go over this thing. Guys, I know I said it before. I'm going to say it right now. I got to do the bomb drop. Yes, I really do. I really do feel that something's coming here with USMJ. Like I said, I've said it here for the last few times we've went over this one. It's getting wound up. It's getting really wound up right here, and more so than ever. I won't pay attention to these lines. We've discussed this in the previous videos. That's a fat finger trade by mistake. Probably at 0006 or whatever. I don't know exactly what they tried to put in, but obviously something they hit something wrong. That was what that big candlestick is, so you got to ignore that. But what we're going to be watching for right now is look at that candle getting above the 30-day simple moving average right now. It is sitting right there above it, hitting the low of 0009 right now. On Friday, it closed at 0009 and it opened at 0010. You guys have that gap here. I would really watch it. I'm not saying that this thing is going to take off right this second. I'm not saying that, but I really think something is going on with USMJ. I can't change too much of what I've said, but right now, I mean, this thing, over of all I've seen, this is the first time that now it's made its way above all those moving averages. This is right here where this thing is getting ready for alert. Honestly, if that buying comes in, I'm going to put this one on technical analysis alert. It is wound up tight. I know a lot of people keep bringing it up. Hey, this thing's getting wound up. It's getting wound up. It is getting wound up. 0.0010 again. We're going to watch this thing. All right, so
All right, so they had that press release today, so I'll just pull that up. Puration Everex CBD infused bottled water makes big splash at Arnold Sports Festival. So Puration Incorporated, with the ticker symbol PURA, launched its Everex CBD infused bottled water and Everex alkaline bottled water this past weekend at the Arnold Sports Festival held in Columbus, Ohio. We would not be happier with the reaction at the Arnold to both our Everex CBD infused bottled water and Everex's alkaline bottled water, said Brian Shibley, CEO of Puration. So check out they had a gallery, like a photo gallery, so you can go and look at all the photos that they had uploaded from the event. We just published online to see for yourself the reception Everex received at the event. We were approached at the show by a number of potential buyers and anticipate soon announcing our first orders coming from the show. So that's, I mean, these guys have, Pura has a relationship with USMJ. Let me see, because I mean, this pulled up on their, within their press release from the thing. So I'm just trying to see where it was. I mean, you know how it's like, this is what it is. Everex is a new sports, fitness, and wellness nutritional supplement brand specializing in product infused with cannabis oil, CBD. The Everex brand was created by and is owned by North American Holdings Incorporated, USMJ, which we're looking at right now. USMJ has a marketing partnership with City Blends Smoothie Cafe. Pura licensed from USMJ the rights to develop and market CBD infused water and alkaline water. So that's what it is. So Pura, they licensed it to Pura, basically USMJ did. Yeah. So as always, I mean, if you want to pull up that press release, you can see the picture, a few of the pictures that they put of the people that they obviously need to do some working out. You know what I mean? But other than that, if you're interested in learning more about the company, go right over onto the USMJ message board over on Investors Hangout. From there, you can look at the company profile, the time and sales, the recent news, their filings, their financials, the buy rating. As always, if you have an opinion, feel free to share it with the tens of thousands of like-minded investors that are using the site daily.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how they got a picture of me and my wife on here. All right, yeah. All jokes aside, you guys, I would really keep an eye on it. You know, like I said before we spliced into USMJ video, I don't want to come off as sounding I'm hyping anything up by anything. I just really, really watch these stocks closely. I mean, obviously, me and Joe go through so many different stocks. I mean, just unbelievable amount. And you don't find too many this close to being down here at the bottom level, getting ready to roll like this one is. Keep an eye on it. I don't want to come back here and in 6 months from now and say, hey, we kept bringing it up saying it's going to go, and nobody listened, nobody put it on their watch list. I'm not saying to go buy it. I am not saying that one bit, but just put it on your watch list. Keep an eye on it. You start seeing those 12 start tapping, 0012s, better put on your helmet. I think this thing might be going. So USMJ.
Yeah, but it'll only go so high, too, because it's got a pretty decent float on it.
Where it's at currently right now, I think that you could make it really quickly up to 0017. So you're talking about 100%, 80% gain fairly quick on that, Joe. Based on what the chart says and what it's done back here. Look at, you went from 0012, 09, and hit a high of 0018. That was 100% in 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we're talking about a 13 billion float.
Well, it did it over here a month ago.
Yeah, no, I know. It really comes down to, investors that are along for the ride.
Well, not only that, but look at what it did back here. Let me give you a little lesson on how volume and charts work with floats. Look at back over here. This whole time, there's nothing there in volume, right? So this whole entire time, you got nothing there in volume. And then right here, when that volume comes in, look at how many days you needed to consolidate or pick up shares for it to move three days that quick. Now, go ahead and put this into perspective. We'll leave this where it's at now and act like this doesn't exist. Now look into here and how this thing's went sideways that much and compare this volume to what you see way back here. Nothing compared to what you see now. Yeah. So when you have days like this of just picking up and that solid trading, that rolling, ball of hands being switched out between so many, you're not going to have that many hands switched out between the flippers. But you can't really say that you're going to have a lot of flippers between a 011 and 0009. Will you have that? Sure. But you know how hard it's going to be to get in 0009 on how big that support's built up there. So that's how I take it when I look at the chart as a whole. Now you have all this shares being picked up in this entire area, and it's not moving, but it's also holding its ground. I really think so. I'll go ahead and bet you on it. I really think.
Well, it does have that the average volume, the 30-day volume right there is 523,354,564. So that's the average volume on the 30-day. That's a lot of trade. There's a lot of shares obviously trading, but
yeah, but I agree. But when you look back in here and look at where it was at, there wasn't that much. But man, there's been a lot of shares picking up. This is why it's holding where it's at right now, because there's so many shares sucked up all the way from October to January in that area. I mean, there's days here that you had 1.42 billion. And then 1 billion, and then another 1.3. What'd you say it was?
Right now the average volume is 523 million.
Right, but the float's 15 billion.
30-day. 13 billion.
All right, look at that. 1, 2, 3. And we'll count that as 1. 888 million. 978, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just in those 10 trading days from where we're at right now all the way back to October, that was the entire share structure, Joe, of shares traded since October. That is what you got to watch for. This is where these come out of nowhere, man. It's because people aren't paying attention to what's going on way back here with the volume, the way it's traded. But like I said, that's my personal opinion right now. You guys are at 0009. If that volume comes in, it doesn't move off that area, we'll look at it then. But I think that it can make it up to 0017 with buying pretty quick. Again, that's going to be USMJ. If you follow this one, make sure you hit subscribe and like right now if you feel that this video helped you in any way, especially a little bit of a chart lesson there on volume and how it plays a role. But definitely keep in consideration, like Joe said, it's big share structure. It really is. It can play either way depending on how many of those shares are sucked up. But USMJ, keep an eye on it. And if you have a hot stock that you're following other than this, I definitely encourage you to head over to investorshangout.com/live.